Okay. It's loading, and I think we're live already.
Are we? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing live on Facebook, and I can't see it on my other monitor, but hi, everybody. This computer, I can see that it's taking a while for it to work or.
So working? There we go.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's live because I'm seeing it. So I'm just going to do some small talk while we're waiting for everybody to join. Mac, you're laughing like, yeah. You know, we're working on this and we want to be professional, but we also are human. And I kind of like the conversational tone myself because it feels more natural to me. If I had to read cue cards and stuff like that, it might not work for me. Or I say the wrong thing. I think Jonathan is the same way. If I try to prepare something written for him, he doesn't necessarily. You're muted. Jonathan, you're muted.
Not happening. I go off script.
And that's okay. That's what this is about, is, you know, being able to connect with our members and with GMAR Connect on a real basis. We're real people with, you know, with real thoughts. And so that's what we're doing here today. We're going to try to connect in that way to our membership. And I'm seeing that we have already some likes and stuff. So I'm going to be looking over at comments and, you know, we'll track questions. We'll try to address what we can, but we did have sort of a lay of the land of what we kind of wanted to discuss. And so today we're welcomed with Mac McFarland as our special guest to this Membership Monday live Facebook event. And y'all forgive me, I'm trying to read and make sure I'm getting everybody involved. Jonathan, you know, we kind of wanted to talk about a couple of things and we emailed over the weekend. One of the things that we want to make sure that we talk about are the second quarter MLS fees that are due. May 15th is the deadline. May 29th is the deadline before you're suspended from the system. But one of the questions that we had gotten, and I wanted to make sure to be clear, was that members, it's $195 for the quarter, but you can be making payments between now and the deadline as long as the full amount is paid by May 15th. There is no rule that says you have to pay it all in one shot. Again, as long as the full amount, the $195, is paid by May 15th. So you could be making incremental payments weekly, monthly. It's up to you to go online and make those payments, or to reach out to Shirley via email at billing@gmar.org and make those arrangements. But I wanted to be clear about that because I know that this may be a difficult time for people who want to pay it and want to be timely, because if you don't pay it and you're not timely and you get disconnected, you won't get the third quarter fees waived. So again, you can make payments on your MLS fees as long as the full balance is paid by the deadline. So wanted to make sure to say that first and foremost for our membership. Hi, Lee Jinx, AB, and Jason, Anita, Esther, Greg, Vicky, Missy, and Betty Gaston. So I've got quite a few people joining and liking this. So there's 23 people on right now.
You know,
so
I mean,
one of the other things. Go ahead.
No, I said, I mean, one thing that I wanted to add, you know, despite everything going on right now, you know, Monica, this is a great idea. This is how we felt we could communicate with membership. That way they still know what's going on locally, state, or nationally. I know today's topics will have some national news or tools that members can take advantage of. And as well from the national thing, I know that's what we have Mac talk about clear cooperation. So, I mean, you know, we're still trying to reach out to membership as best we can and keep everybody informed.
Right. We'd have members call in, and then we are still, receiving phone calls and responding to phone calls and responding via email. And the feedback that I'm getting from staff is that, a lot of sometimes the communications or the phone calls that we were getting in the office were questions that most members can figure out the answers to with a little bit of time. And so that seems to be happening, but the email communication seems to be working very well for with the staff, and they feel that they'll get a lot more done because we don't have as many phone call interruptions, and they respond much faster to an email than being able to return a phone call. But they are addressing all questions via email. So make sure if you need to get a hold of one of the staff members, you feel free to email them. You'll get an answer a lot faster. Jonathan, I'd like you to kind of talk a little bit about the NAR re-release of a program that they had many years ago called Right Tools Right Now. NAR has opened that program and made a lot of information available. And if you can kind of talk about and highlight a little bit of that, that would be great.
Yeah, no problem. Let me get my notes here real quick. Here we're talking how I go off script. I don't pay attention to script, but now I'm the one that needs a script. So NAR right now has a lot of tools out that we could take advantage of. For some of those that took advantage of it, myself included, sign up for continuing education courses. I think I signed up for 37 hours of continuing education, all completely free to members. I believe that one has already passed, but NAR is continuing to put a lot of stuff out. But right now, what I want to talk about is NAR's got some webinars that they're putting out. It's called NAR Right Tools Right Now, like Monica said. There's webinars to help you as a member manage your finances. Education courses, what I just touched on, to help us with our skills, help us to keep up to date with everything, as well as to get those hours that we need to renew our classes. Market reports. I mean, that's a big thing right now. With everything that's happening right now, is the market affected? There's market reports to inform business clients, inform whether we have commercial or residential clients. Digital tools for transactions and marketing. I know a lot of us use Zip Forms, DocuSign, Dotloop, but NAR has additional tools that we can take advantage of. Monica, if I'm not mistaken, all of this, we can provide a link for everybody to find all of this stuff, right?
Yes, I know screen share going right now, so everybody can see on the website. You can always go to nar.realtor and then just do into the search bar, do tools right now, and you'll be able to find the link. But I believe that we are also adding a lot of stuff to our website. I don't know that the link directly is up yet, but I'm sure Humberto will let us know. If anything, we'll add it to the comments of this live feed at the bottom, so that people can go to this live feed for this day and find the link within the comments. Some people might find it easier, faster to do it that way.
Perfect. And another thing is, aside from, NAR helping us as members, NAR is doing a lot and providing resources to our local associations as well. With that, Monica, do you have any tools or anything that NAR has helped GMAR or members can take advantage of locally?
There, of course, we still are having people sign up for your CE classes, and I believe that Humberto's doing remote monitoring of those classes. But one of the things that I know, we sent an email out last week in regards to virtual open houses and virtual tours. And and I guess the announcement was more about Zillow and how they were going to be adding the ability to add within the public comments or public remarks, to add the ability for the Zillow feed to include that information out to members. And again, the email went out to everybody, and it has the information, the detailed information about what will be allowed, because we know that sometimes agents put URLs within those agent remarks, those will be excluded in the feed that's sent out to Zillow. And so just follow the instructions and just know that it only the certain section, and it has to be very specifically worded, and all the specific wording is in the email that we sent out in order for that to go out. And I'm very, happy to say that I had reached out to Zillow at the beginning of March when I saw that this was maybe an issue, and I raised the issue to them about virtual open houses and doing something about that to provide our members the ability, and it became a national change that they're doing and that they're implementing, because they saw that this was something that they were going to need to do all the way around. So I'm happy that they're doing that. And there's other tools that I'm looking at to be able to bring possible videos for open houses. There's other vendors that that I've come into contact with throughout when we go to conferences that I just felt would never be financially feasible for us to provide to members because of the high dollar amounts for some of those vendor programs. And with everything that's happening, though, we've seen a lot of these vendors do, I call them basement prices to some extent, because they've dropped their pricing to make it more feasible for associations to provide member services, especially in regards to open houses and video tours of homes. So I'm in talking with a couple of those vendors in communication. I did a couple of Zoom presentations last week to see their products. And so hopefully we'll have something to bring to the members much quicker. And, something that just in general is what I'm seeing on a lot of the Zoom meetings is that this is a very difficult time for the country, for us locally. We're all scared, but it's giving a lot of innovation the opportunity to flourish right now too. And so some of the products that we may not have seen as necessary or was luxury, one of those items of like virtual tours, well, I don't necessarily need that right now, is become primary to being able to conduct business. So I think that this is just going to change the way everybody does business. I don't know when business will go back to usual. I don't think anybody can really predict that, and not at this time. But I think that we're looking at a lot of those innovative tools are becoming primary, and we're taking a good serious look at them. And it's sort of exciting to see those innovative products being made available at cost, so to speak.
Oh, of course. It's definitely interesting times for everybody. But in regards to NAR as well and their clear cooperation policy, that's still in effect. That takes nothing has changed with that. And I'd like to bring Mac on to discuss the clear cooperation policy from NAR.
Sure. If I could add something before that real quick. Those tools you were talking about, if they'll actually go to nar.realtor, on the right-hand side, it'll have the little link there, or it is one of the main screens that pop up. But the reason I want to touch base on it, there's also 4 CCIM webinars. You have to go down to the bottom of it, but you'll see them on there. There's 4 one-hour CCIM webinars on there as well. I know that being an interest in the board, there's probably some people that want to do that. As far as the clear cooperation policy goes, you're absolutely right. NAR did not, because of the situation, they didn't make any changes. They said we're going forward. We're still May the 1st. It becomes a mandatory part of everything as far as enforcement goes. The clear cooperation policy is very simple. If you have a listing and you market it, it needs to be an MLS. So our listing agreements that most of us use from Texas Realtors, and the MLS rules say that when you take a listing, you have 5 days to get it into MLS. We still have that. That's not a problem as long as you're not marketing it. But if you market the property any way, shape, or form, it needs to be an MLS, and you have 1 business day to get it there from the time you start marketing. That includes if the seller says they want to paint the house, you want to give them 5 days to do that. That's great. But if you show it, that's marketing the house, and it needs to be an MLS.
And, you know, Mac, there's been some questions and requests that NAR extend the deadline beyond May the 1st. May the 1st is the deadline for MLSs to incorporate that policy. We as an association have already incorporated the policy. The MLS committee has passed that policy out of the committee, and the board has approved the incorporation of it. But there were still questions and discussions about the extending the deadline, but NAR has stuck to the May the 1st deadline. They are not going to extend it beyond that. They're leaving it to local discretion on enforcement and or implementing fines. So right now we are trying to get the information, trying to bring awareness about the policy and what it strictly means for our membership before we also take that next step and implement fines, et cetera.
Yes, you're absolutely right. It's just a matter of, I mean, in my mind, it's real simple. If you have a listing, you're marketing the listing at all, make sure it's in MLS. And by the way, that pertains to residential properties only, right, Monica?
Residential and land, yes. I believe. Yeah, it does not pertain to commercial properties. And I know that there's been some questions about that and emails about whether commercial properties were going to be included, but the clarifications that we got, the FAQs through NAR, and if you go to nar.realtor and you type in clear cooperation at the top, you can find the page. It'll take you to page and more information about the clear cooperation policy. You can also pull up the FAQs that NAR has developed. They took up the most frequently asked questions. They had NAR professional staff and legal respond to those questions, but commercial listings were not meant to be included in the enforcement of clear cooperation and the marketing. The marketing is strictly meant for the residential listings that are in the systems. Okay, one more thing another additional thing that I kind of wanted to let people know, and Jonathan can help me with this, is we've talked about it a couple of times about code of ethics and the need, the changes in the code of ethic requirements by NAR and their change to the bylaws back in November. And what it meant was there was members of our association who last year took Legal 2, for instance, and Legal 2 was included credit for that code of ethics. And after their change and after the change to the bylaws, which now require code of ethics to be completed every 3 years, however, that change prevented us from being able to say that Legal 2 was sufficient to qualify somebody to have taken the code of ethics also. However, if you took Legal 2 last year, you have your code of ethics completed already. It's anyone who has not completed their code of ethics training by January 1st, 2020 and forward, then you need to take the code of ethics again. Okay, I don't know if that made sense or if I'm confusing everybody, but if you've taken Legal 2 last year, you do not need to do code of ethics this year or next year. If you have not taken Legal 2, then you do have to do the code of ethics.
It makes me need to go check, see what I need to do.
And you can find that information easily. Go ahead, Jonathan.
I was gonna say, I think I do need to do code of ethics. But what I wanted to point out is, Humberto, thank you for this update from Texas Realtors. They're still going to be doing classes via Zoom. And what I'm being told is that by Humberto is that they're not going to have 2 free code of ethics classes, starting here April 23rd, and then one on May 5th. So if you do need that code of ethics class that Monica was talking about, be sure to take a look at Texas Realtors. Friday, April 23rd or May 5th, you have that opportunity to take that class for free. Mac, I know you're an instructor. Anything you want to add on that?
Just that if there was a question, when we went through this the other day, we went, they can go to the gmar.org and click on education ethics. They'll take them over where they can actually see on NAR's site. There's a little box there on nar.realtor. There's a little box there. You can click on it. You have to be logged in. It'll tell you whether you're up to date or not. It's a real simple process. And they are offering the free days through Texas Realtors as well. Or they can actually do it online for free through NAR also.
Perfect. I mean, yeah. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Going through and sharing the screen, and he's going to show everybody what Mac is talking about.
I think you passed it, Humberto, to check the status. Right there.
And if you're logged in, yeah, you have to be logged in. If you're logged in, a little box comes up and you just click on it. It'll tell you whether you're up to date or not.
Okay, perfect. Let me do it on my side over here.
Okay, well, I'm updating Facebook, and I'm not seeing any questions in the comments about it. But again, if you have questions about Code of Ethics and completing Code of Ethics, email education@gmar.org. I know you're going to love me for that, Humberto.
And let's see here. Guys,
I did want to, go ahead.
Oh, so I was going to say, for those of you all that saw the video from last week, this is a big year for Texas Realtors. We are celebrating 100th year. And I know leadership is, despite all this that's going on with these times, leadership is working out and, working in overdrive. 100th year anniversary is still a big moment for Texas Realtors. I want to add that, our regional conferences are canceled, but we're, fingers crossed. Here's hope that the state conference still happens at the end of August, beginning of September. That'll be in San Antonio. That is a free conference. If that happens, we'd love to see as many GMAR members there as possible. I know when we travel as an association, or we travel as a board, our numbers are well represented up there. We get noticed, but hopefully, we can see more membership up there with us, interacting more with Texas Realtors, and really show a presence that GMAR is a strong force with Texas Realtors.
Yeah, I think that everybody is very hopeful about that. We're going to be able to get together in September, end of August, beginning of September, to celebrate the 100 years of existence of Texas Realtors. For many reasons, that might be the first conference where we can all be together and really just celebrate. So, and I think a lot of people are looking forward to that first meeting, that first time getting together with others. But we all still need to be very cautious. I was watching C-SPAN earlier with the mayors of New York, New Jersey, all those surrounding areas, talking about a plan of going back to slowly working to normal and getting things back to normal. I think real estate has been very fortunate that we have such great voices talking to leadership, and because to be able to stay as an essential service has been very helpful. I'm receiving now weekly reports from Texas Realtors kind of outlining some of the data as it's coming in, weekly data about listings going into pending, listings being withdrawn, and new listings that are being entered into the system. And that's very important so that we're conscientious of moving forward as an association and decisions that we're making. You know, and we're going to have some, as an association, some good conversations that we're going to have to make and have in the coming weeks and months about the direction that we need to go and the things that we need to be concerned about. But currently, what I've seen is not too much of a difference in the data. So that's encouraging, but I don't want to discourage people from being careful and being cautious with their health. So the encouragement is, once real estate gets 100% back into the swing of things, you know, hopefully we'll see a big resurgence of things, but I haven't seen a drop off yet on the data that I'm receiving weekly. So, you know, again, we're keeping a close eye. It could be that there's a couple of weeks lag in the data showing a change. So we're not saying that there isn't going to be some sort of a drop off, but right now it's not showing on in the system and the data and the reports that I'm receiving.
Monica, do you think we, and that's great info, but do you think we could put a link to the real estate center there where members can access?
The data that I'm receiving is not being shared publicly because it's being broken down weekly, and it's not.
Correct.
It's not being, it's only being sent to me. In fact, it's not even, I'm asked not to share beyond myself.
No, but
at this point.
But in general, you know how we get the market reports from Shirley? Do you think we could get a link up on the comments just so members can access that on their own?
We add the market data reports that Shirley gets. We do have them on at gmar.org. We do have them on our website. They're under news, I believe, what's new, and there's housing data.
Perfect.
So I think Humberto right now, he'll share the screen and show everybody where you can find that. But if you go to gmar.org, under what's new, right under the COVID-19 updates is housing data. And so those reports are usually there. I think we just received March report today from Shirley, received it, send it out. So yeah, and he's showing it there. So we just put up February's. February's is what's on the website, but we just received March's earlier today. So that should be going up shortly as well.
Perfect.
Those are also available on texasrealestate.com. Underneath research, they click on the market viewer, and then there's a infographic there as well that'll generate for them on the left-hand side if they click on that.
Okay. All right. So, you know, it's been another great Monday, another great conversation with you gentlemen. Is there anything, I'm looking to see if there is any other questions. Yeah, let's see, no, I don't see any new or additional questions that are in the comments for us to answer for today. If there's any subjects or anything that members would like us to talk about next Monday, please send them to us, and we're happy to provide more information. And everybody have the great rest of your Monday and a great week. And Mac, thank you for joining us.
Yes, ma'am. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mac. Yeah,
bye, Jonathan. Bye,
have a great week.
Thank you all. Everybody go south.